In this video, I'm going to explain what the Google Ads quality score is, why it's so important, and the actions that you can take to improve it, and by doing so, significantly improve your Google Ad results. Okay, so what is the Google Ads quality score? Well, it's a metric. It's a number from 1 to 10, 1 being really poor, 10 being exceptionally good. And it's assigned to, for example, your keywords that you use to target within a search campaign on Google. And what Google's trying to do with the quality score is they're trying to determine and then show you as an advertiser how well you are set up as an advertiser from your website and all that sort of stuff for that specific keyword. So it's determined by a number of different factors. One's going to be the relevance of your website to that keyword. So Google, for example, will crawl your site and they will see what words and phrases and sentences, etc., are used throughout your website. And obviously, if Google crawls your site and they see that the keyword that you're targeting is replicated in that exact form or in various variations throughout your website, they'll be like, okay, yeah, makes sense that this business is targeting people searching for this keyword because it's highly relevant to that, and people searching for that are likely to be interested in their products or services. And alongside the relevance of your website, expected CTR is another metric that's used that plays into quality score and that is a factor in determining what your quality score will be. And expected CTR is what Google thinks your click-through rate will be. Now, the higher your click-through rate, it makes sense that Google sees that as, okay, again, this business is highly relevant to this keyword and people searching for this keyword because lots of people are clicking on their ads. They wouldn't do that if they weren't relevant to the keyword. And Google really wants to provide ads along with organic search results that are highly relevant because that's a better user experience for searchers, and that's why people use Google and potentially not other browsers and all that sort of stuff, right? So it all plays into Google's overall objective of making sure that Google is the best possible product for its users, alongside, of course, monetizing with ads and things like that. Now, how does Google work out what the expected CTR is going to be? They're going to look at your previous CTR. So if you've got good, solid click-through rates on previous campaigns or previous ads, then that's going to play into it. How relevant is your ad, not just your website, but your ad to the keyword being searched for? I've talked in previous videos about the importance of getting really quite specific with your ads versus the keywords, and you want people who are searching certain things to feel like your ad is specifically for them, and they click through to your website and they see that your product or service is specifically for them, because that's one of the major objections that people have to moving forward is they go, oh, this looks like kind of a generic offering. I want something really specific for my little niche. You can overcome that by increasing that specificity. It will also help increase your click-through rate, and that will factor into Google's expected CTR, which will help improve your quality score. Another thing that affects your expected CTR is your competition. So how many competitors are also bidding on the same similar keywords? What does their click-through rate look like? What's their ad account history look like? Obviously, if you have fewer competitors, then your expected CTR is going to be larger because you're going to be higher up the page, you're going to take up more space. If there are no other advertisers, your expected CTR is going to be really high. Likewise, if their ads are really good and there are lots of competitors, then your expected CTR is going to be lower because Google is expecting that a lot of your competition is going to take some of those clicks. They're doing a good job based on their account history and all that sort of stuff. So those are things that really go into expected CTR, which is one of the metrics that affects your quality score. The other big factor that influences quality score is user experience. So when people click on your ads and come through to your website, how long do they spend on your website? Do they spend quite a bit of time there taking a look at stuff, or do they bounce off pretty quickly? Now, if they bounce off pretty quickly or leave after 10 seconds or so, Google notes that as that user probably didn't have a good user experience. They probably didn't find the information or whatever it is that they were looking for when they searched, particularly if they then go back to Google and search for something similar and click on another either organic link or another ad. Google's thinking, okay, the user experience on this website is not as good. Perhaps it's not designed very well. Perhaps it's not easy to navigate. Perhaps it doesn't have the information that's relevant to people who are searching for that keyword. Therefore, we're going to reduce the quality score. Whereas vice versa, if the website's great, people spend a lot of time, they find what they're looking for, either information or they go and take another action, like they become a lead and they don't go back into Google and search for a similar thing again, Google's thinking, great, this advertiser is doing a really good job of meeting the requirements of the searcher, of the user. We're going to reward them with a higher quality score. Now, you might be thinking, but why does quality score even matter? Well, in short, the higher your quality score, the lower your cost per click will be. And Google does this on purpose because they want to incentivize advertisers to do things that they want them to do. Google wants you to create ads that are highly relevant to people's searches and only target the keywords that are relevant to those. Google wants you to create a really good user experience by having a high quality website and people able to navigate and do all the things that searchers and users want, because they will associate that good experience with their search on Google. Google wants you to have high click-through rates because Google earns more money if advertisers are better at convincing searchers to click on ads as opposed to go down to the organic results. So Google really uses this as a way to incentivize advertisers to take the actions that Google wants. So these things also help you as an advertiser, but it is nice that Google takes that one step further and goes, yeah, but you're ticking the boxes that we care about as a company, therefore you get a lower cost per click. So in a second, I'm going to show you some steps that you can take to improve your Google Ads quality score fairly quickly and easily. Before I do that, I just want to quickly let you know about our done-for-you Google Ads services. So my company creates, manages, and optimizes Google Ad campaigns for our clients. We can take that workload off your hands, most likely help you get significantly better results. If you are interested in finding out more about that, there is a link in the video description below. You can click on that, go through to a page on our website and book in a free call with one of my team members to find out more about a service, how much we charge, how we'll be able to help, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, go ahead and do that, and hopefully we get a chance to work together. Okay, so how do you actually go about improving your Google Ads quality score? Well, if we tackle the relevance point first, we know that if we make our website more relevant to the keywords that we're targeting, that's going to help improve our quality score, lead to a lower cost per click, lead to better return on ad spend. So the easiest way to do that is just make sure that you've got language on your website that's very similar to the keywords that you're targeting. It doesn't have to be exact all the time. It can be variations. Google is smart enough to pick that up. And you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to sort of spam your website with that sort of thing, but you just want to go through and have a look and think, well, we're targeting these keywords for this particular service. We haven't actually got language that specifically mentions that service. Let's make sure we add that in. One of the things that I really like doing is creating specific landing pages that get more detailed for different ad groups that have quite specific keyword groupings, and that way the relevance is virtually guaranteed. So instead of just, for example, advertising a landscaping service and just having all the various different things that people might search for when it comes to landscaping come through to one landing page, you could break out the individual elements, right? You could have artificial turf as a service, which is obviously part of landscaping. You could have patio laying or flower planting, or all the various different elements that go into an overall landscaping service. You could break those out into separate ad groups with tight keyword groupings, and then break those out into separate landing pages, so that if someone is searching for patio laying, for example, and you've just got a page about landscaping, Google's going, wow, it's relevant but not super relevant. If you had a specific landing page about patio laying, that's then super relevant. That's going to help with that. That's going to help improve your quality score and help your results overall. Doing that is also going to tie into improving the user experience, because if someone's searching for patio laying and they come through to a generic landscaping services page, they might think, oh, this isn't quite for me. I don't want all the other services associated with landscaping. I don't want flower planting and artificial turf being laid down, or whatever it is. I just want this. If they come through and they see that page about patio laying, they're like, aha, perfect. This company offers just what I need. They offer it in isolation. I will get in touch with them. Now, you may well be able to sell them on the other stuff, depending on what they need, tree clearance, whatever it happens to be, but you get them in by going, this is really specific to your needs. You're likely to get better overall results. People are going to spend more time on your website. They're not going to click through, see the landscaping page and go, no, it's not quite for me. I want something a bit different, and they click off. They're not going to do that. That's going to help with those things, which keeps Google happy, keeps the user happy, and is going to get you better results. Also, if you are going to go down this route that I'm recommending, where you make things more specific and you have probably more ad groups with tighter keyword groupings, you want to make sure that you tailor your ads for that as well. So for the person searching for patio laying, they're not going to be coming through to a landscaping services generic page. They're going to be coming through to a specific patio laying services page, which is great on your website, but also make the ad specific about patio laying as well. Now, that might sound obvious given you've got those other two pieces in place, but I thought it's worth mentioning that in there, because that is certainly going to help. If you can't get a new landing page created or adjustments to your website done, the short and easy way to improve things would be to change the ad itself, because that you can almost certainly do, right? To make that more specific to the search terms that people are actually using. So the specificity, making people feel like they're in the right place, it's a big deal. And then very simply, make sure that your website works properly. Make sure that it's easily navigable, make sure that it doesn't crash, make sure that it doesn't take ages to load. These are all things that we know annoy us as users, because we all obviously visit websites, and if they crash or have bugs or take forever to load, it is frustrating, isn't it? Well, don't do that to your users. Make it as easy and user-friendly as possible. Make sure it works and looks good on all devices. most websites do now, but occasionally we will see websites where it just doesn't look good on certain devices. That's going to hurt the user experience, which is going to hurt your quality score, which is going to mean you pay more per click. So these are some steps that some are quick and easy to do, some might take a little bit longer, might involve hiring a web developer to make adjustments, but they're well worth doing if you're serious about getting great results from your Google Ads. Google Ads is full of technical things that you need to get right to see the best possible results. In this video, I walk you through the Google Ads bidding strategy options. I explain what they are and which ones you want to use and when. I'd strongly recommend you check this out.